Hi. So I'm Pat, Eric's roommate, and I'm going to teach you how to cook jambalaya today. So it's a Cajun dish, and you start out with some tomatoes that you cut up, and once you're done cutting them, you run them in the food processor so that they're sort of mashed. Then what you need to get out is like a frying pan and a saucepan. You throw the tomatoes in the saucepan, and then you cut up the rest of your vegetables. So there's going to be an onion, you're going to see some green peppers, and later on you'll see some celery that I cut up. So as you're cutting up everything, you let the saucepan sort of reduce what is in there, the tomato sauce and all that. So you cut up the onions so that they're reasonably small, bite-sized, something that's comfortable for you to eat. And then you do the same thing with the green peppers. You'll see that the green peppers are kind of long here. It's because I cut them up more later, but close enough. So after that, you also take some garlic, and you take 3 cloves of garlic and then you smash them with, I use the flat blade of a knife, but whatever works, because they've got this husk around them, and you want to get that off, and then you've just got the sort of the meat of the garlic. So after that, you dice them up, and then you sort of keep things reducing and keep things going. And as everything is reducing, you throw the garlic in with the reducing tomato sauce and all that. Let that go in. There's some other spices that get included with this, but you'll see those in a few minutes, and I'll explain what's in there. So after that, you slice up your celery. So all of the vegetables that we've created so far, none of them we've cooked yet. And we'll get to the point where we cook them after we start cooking the meat that goes in the jambalaya as well. So, like everything else, it's all about bite-sized pieces. So you cut the celery into a size that's adequate for you, and stir your tomato sauce around. Then you've got sausage. You can hear me talking about it, and ham. You want about a pound of ham and, I don't know, probably about a pound of sausage as well. The ratios don't really matter. You're just going to throw all this stuff together in a pot anyway, so who cares? So anyway, you cut up the ham into, again, bite-sized pieces, and then you put some vegetable oil or some olive oil in a saucepan and get ready to cook the ham. I should point out, as I almost cut off my hand, that you should be careful about cutting and not cut off your fingers or anything. So you bring the oiled up saucepan to like medium heat and sort of start cooking your ham. As you're doing this, if you've got any final preparation stuff to do with vegetables, now's the time to do it, because you're about to cook the ham, and then once the ham goes into the jambalaya, as I'm doing now, once the ham goes in there, it's going to just sort of sit and stew, and at that point, if you don't throw something else into the pan with the ham, it's going to gunk up the bottom of the pan and that sort of thing. So the next thing you do is you want to throw some wine into the reducing tomato sauce. You want roughly a cup of wine, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, doesn't really matter. But anyway, usually a dry white wine is recommended. I picked something that would be good for me to drink, and you'll see that later, but that's more of a cook's secret that you want to get into later on. So anyway, for spices, what you want to throw in are, you saw some bay leaves, and then I throw in some minced onion. I then throw in some sage and a little bit of oregano. And then after that, I throw in a whole lot of cayenne pepper. And the cayenne pepper is what adds sort of the traditional Cajun spice to this stuff. So after that, you want to throw in your ham, finally, now that it's finished cooking. And stir that in. And after that, you want to throw the sausage that you just cut up into the pan that's frying in. And after that, you cook that until it's sort of a golden brownish color. Once you do that, the next thing you want to, I should add, you should start stirring, like you should stir this stuff pretty often, because it sticks to the bottom of the pan and it becomes a real mess. The next thing you want to do is add the onion to the sausage that you have there. So once this stuff is starting to become a golden brown and you've released a lot of the oils that are in the sausage, you're going to want to throw the onion in, because the trick to it is that the onion cooks with the sausage, and the sausage adds some flavor to the onion. and then it just makes it taste better. So you do just that. You throw the onion in with the pretty much cooked sausage. If you have any final cutting to do on the green onions, you see I'm doing the final cutting now. You do that, and then you just sort of let the two cook. And as once this stuff is done cooking, you then dump it into the reducing tomato sauce, and then add in the celery. So you cook up the celery a little bit after. The celery is probably the fastest to cook, so that's why you cook it up separately. Just throw it in and mix it up. At this point, you want things to reduce until you have a lot of flavor in the sauce. That rough estimate is probably about 20 minutes, I guess. After that, you throw it over rice, and then